Hello, and welcome back to Let's Talk Chicago Bears. Unfortunately, it's not a victory Monday. It's far from it, actually. And besides the Bears' loss, your announcer today did not have a good day. A little short synopsis what happened today. Excuse me. I went to Walmart at about 10 a.m. Come out 10:30, my car won't start. My battery went dead. So I had to get somebody to jump it. I hired somebody that came out, they jumped it, and then I had to take it to a place down the street for me to put a new battery in. Fortunately, there was a bar next door, so hung out there for a couple hours. So not probably going to be my greatest show. Your announcer here is fighting a bad cold, who she got from her grandson. And then this happened today. So I just got home after a few beers, although I won $30 at the bar. So that's not bad. But yeah, that's been my day so far. So just like the Bears yesterday, shit show for sure. Okay, so let's talk about it. So it wasn't a game for the Bears. They couldn't even get in the damn end zone, and the defense couldn't stop the run. So let's talk about it. So always have three things the Bears have to do to win the game. They only won one out of the three. They only had 5 penalties, but they were for 77 yards. New York had 7 penalties for 55 yards. So technically they won it, but yardage-wise, I say they didn't. They lost the time of possession, 28 minutes and 43 seconds to New York's 31 minutes and 17 seconds. They lost that. And the turnover battle, if you can believe it, I predicted 2 turnovers. The Bears got 2 turnovers, but they lost because they had 3 turnovers. And actually, the Bears fumbled the ball 6 times, and they recovered 3 of them. They're damn lucky it wasn't worse. We lost that. So I told you can't win the game if you can't win at least 2 out of 3 of those categories. So right there, besides the obvious, the Bears didn't win. And who had the turnovers for the Bears were Eddie Jackson, number 4, had an interception. Right on, Eddie. And then Blackwell forced the fumble on when New York punted the ball. And the Bears got the ball, and they did go down, and I believe they scored 3 points after that. So, but it still isn't good enough. So, okay, let's talk about what a couple of individual people did on the Bears. So, Fields actually passed for more yards than he had in the last previous games. He was 11 for 22 for 155 yards. Now, on another website, I saw 174 yards. So, but then I went to another website and it said 153. So, or 155. See, I've been drinking today. This is not going to be a good show. So he passed for 155 yards. He had 52 yards rushing, but he fumbled. He was sacked 6 times. And Fields fumbled the ball 3 times. Yeah. So that wasn't pretty, but we're going to keep going on with the stats, and then we'll go from there. Herbert, number 24, the running back in from Montgomery, had 77 yards, and the team altogether had 149 yards. Mr. Mooney, 11, he actually showed up yesterday, and he had 92 yards receiving. Not that helped us, but he still had 92 yards. So it was nice to see Mr. Mooney back in the saddle again. And the kicker, who we signed on Friday, Michael Bagley, he did 4 field goals for 12 points. So right on, man. Great job. Because Santos was out with personal reasons. We don't really know why. I've heard rumors that he had family and a home in Florida, so that could be something to do with it. So we'll see. But that kicker did a really good job, considering that's the only points we got. Okay, so let's talk about what the defense did. Our defense was great in passing, but they didn't really have any intentional passing a lot because they know the Bears can't stop the run. And they have Barkley on their team. So they did what you should do, and they ran the ball down the Bears' throats. So passing for New York was only 71 yards. Rushing was 262. Yeah, very bad. Um, like I said, our defense got 2 turnovers, which was good. Only 1 sack, and that was by number 9 Brisker, who is in our backfield, who is a safety. And it was good to see him, though. I really liked. I think this young man, number 9, is going to be good in the backfield. I really see sparks of good play from him, and I just think more that he gets it under his belt. He's a rookie, came from Penn State. I think he's going to be really good. So that's a bright spot. But the bad spot is 262 in yards rushing, and all the teams know it. So all they're going to do is run on the Bears now. But the one good thing about the Bears, though, in the last 4 games, they have given up no touchdowns in the second half and only 6 field goals. So that does mean that the Bears' defense is making good adjustments, and I like it. But why can't they just come out of the gate and be like that? I don't understand it. I really don't. How you could be so good in one half and so terrible in the other half. Doesn't make any sense. So, I don't know. Kind of pisses me off. But I was happy that we got the 2 turnovers. Okay, so let's talk about the defense. The defense, as we know, cannot stop the damn run. And as I said, every team knows it. So why would you pass? Ooh. And in the fourth quarter, New York was doing the wildcat because we basically knocked out both of the quarterbacks. Daniel Jones went out with a sprained ankle, and Tyree Taylor came in to back him up, and he ended up getting a concussion. So Jones comes back in. Well, he can't run. So they were doing the wildcat on the Bears, and the Bears couldn't stop that either. I mean, come on. So I don't understand. They're going to be dead last in rush for the defense because they were in 30th place against the run before this game. So I'm pretty sure the Bears are going to be dead last with the yards that they allowed. Saquon Barkley got 146 yards, had 31 carries, and you know what? And most of them was in the first half. He got 90 yards in the first half, and the rest were in the second half. I mean, they just can't stop the run. The only reason we probably won last week's game against Texas is they just didn't run the ball very well. So the Bears had a chance. We don't even know if our backfield is any good because no one's really going after them because everybody's running on us. So they got to do something to stop the run. This is bad, bad, bad. And then, with 3 minutes left in the game, the Bears get a chance. They're down by 8 points. They could get a touchdown, 2-point conversion, game tied. So they get a punt. There's 3 minutes left in the game, 3 minutes and change left in the game. And Jones, number 12, fumbles the ball on New York's 36-yard line. Are you fucking kidding me? He hasn't played in the first 3 games, and his first game back, he fumbles the ball in a very important time in the game. That's all I'm going to say. So, the only good thing is that New York they missed their field goal, but it didn't matter because they chewed up the clock, and there was only 17 seconds left when the Bears got the ball. Well, we all know they're not going to score with 17 seconds. And one of the reasons they're not going to score with 17 seconds is our offensive coordinator. I'm not digging this guy right now at all. And maybe Coach Flus, Coach Flus is a defensive guy. He was a defensive coordinator, now he's a head coach. So, okay, the defense has got problems. So, Coach Flus, you got to work on that. And then maybe you shouldn't be giving this offensive coordinator the green light to do whatever he wants because he's terrible. In my opinion, their offense is too vanilla. Everybody knows what they're going to do. And I saw a stat, and it's something like this in the red zone. There's a stat that says something like the Bears down there 10 times, and they ran the ball 9 times and threw 1 pass. That was the previous games. But that's terrible. So we're getting down there. We are getting down there, and that's a good sign. But I mean, they can't score a fucking touchdown. Really pissed me off. In the beginning of the game, I always look at the beginning, the first drive for each team. Now, the only good thing was New York came out, had the ball first. They went 3-and-out. Bears had the ball second, and they went right down the field, which was like, oh my God, we're moving the ball, we're going down the field. They score 3 points. I mean, that was good, and I always say you got to score points when you get the ball, but they've got to score touchdowns. You know what touchdowns are? 7 points, Bears. I don't know. This game was very frustrating. And I read something today. One of the reporters from Illinois said, everybody, this is the team we thought we were going to see. They had a couple good wins, and now we're seeing what we thought we were going to see. Well, I'm not liking that. And you know what? I shouldn't say that because I know I'm not liking it because I'm a fan. And I did say this is going to be an up and down year. We're going to have an up and down year. And the stats were just terrible yesterday. Like I said, we didn't win the time of possession. We didn't win the turnover battle. We got 2 turnovers, and they got 3. We kept the penalties to 5, but we had more yards lost. And when the penalties did hit, they were at a really bad time. Like time where the Bears were driving and penalty, stop. Bears aren't good enough to overcome them. So, in my opinion, they lost all 3 in those categories, and you're not going to win. You're just not. And so we know the Bears defense has a lot of work to do. They can't stop the run. I don't know what the problem is. And some of these veterans like Quinn needs to fucking step up. Where has he been? You know what? I would have rather gotten rid of him and kept Mack, quite honestly. I know he had 18.5 sacks last year, but he's doing shit this year. So I'm not digging that either. And back to the offensive coordinator, he's just too vanilla. I mean, that Green Bay game, we're not going to go back to that game, but, 4th and 1, you have inches to go. You should do a quarterback sneak, which he did, but he did it from the fucking shotgun. What? He should have been under center. So, all right. I'm not going to keep going on about that. But Fields, at times he looked good yesterday, and then the majority of the time he didn't. He just, I don't know what it is. Obviously, if we knew what it is, the Bears would fix it. But he doesn't have confidence in himself, in the line, and you know what? He's not giving them the time to block for him, and he just takes off. I mean, he had some good passes. As we said, Mr. Mooney had number 11, 92 yards, and or whatever, he had 90-something yards. So there were some good things, but not enough. If you can't score a damn touchdown, this is the NFL, not Pee Wee, the NFL football. And you got to score touchdowns. If you can't do that, forget it. And the Bears just apparently cannot do that. They have a thing about the end zone. I don't know what the problem is, but they're not. When they get close, things change, and it just pisses me off. And I don't know. There's a lot of work that needs done on the team, and it definitely showed yesterday because New York had a lot of injuries. We knocked out both of their quarterbacks. The guy came back in with a sprained ankle, and they still beat us. What does that say? Not good. But, and I have to say this stuff because this is how I feel, and it's the truth. But I've also said a million times that it's going to be a long year. It's going to be up, and it's going to be down. And yesterday was a big eye-opener for that, wasn't it not? I think everybody thought we were going to win that game, and not even close. Not even close. Even though the score was 12-20, it seemed to me like the Giants had the game in their hands pretty much the whole time. That's the way I feel about it. But now there was 2 offensive linemen were injured in that game yesterday, and that worries me because our line, we don't have the greatest line anyways, and you can't lose the guys we have. So I'm praying. I haven't seen the injury report because I was fucking around with my car all day today. So I don't know, but that worries me. So let's pray that the line is the two guys aren't that bad. So the Bears have a lot of work to do, a lot of work to do, and I don't know. To be quite honest with you, you know, yeah, the defense can't stop the run. We know that. But the biggest problem, in my opinion, is we can't score. Now, if we could score points, maybe that would boost up the defense a little bit and they'd go out there and play harder. I'm not saying they're not playing hard. I know there's a lot of youth on this team. We have a lot of learning to do, but there were so many missed tackles out there yesterday, and I saw some missed tackles by veterans. I saw a really bad one by Roquan Smith. Very disappointed. I know he had a good game. Well, sure he did, because he was probably the only one frickin' tackling anybody. And Quinn, I think he was taking a nap out there or playing poker or something. I don't know what he was doing, but he wasn't playing football. So the defense definitely needs to step up, and the offense needs to do the same. But Cole Kmet had some catches, and Mr. Mooney too. They both stepped up, and I called them out on Friday. But it has to be consistent, and they have to keep doing it. And we have to figure out what's going on with Fields' heads. I'm very concerned about this. I said it was going to be a up and down year, but I didn't think Fields was going to be so inconsistent, because he didn't look that bad last year, and fucking Nagy was his coach. So I don't know what's going on. I'm not going to, I know a lot of people are jumping on the coaching staff, although I did call out the OC, Luke. I don't like his play calling. It's too vanilla. It's too obvious. He needs to, I really say he should do more short passes to the tight ends, to the running backs, and just move down the field. Take it 8 to 10 yards down the field. Get some rhythm going. Get a Fields confidence going, and maybe we could get it going. You get to mix in the run, and then you're starting to groove. You know what I mean? But he's not doing that. It's like all or nothing with him, it seems like. And I'm not a fan right now at all. And he came from Green Bay. So that's a big problem anyways, the OC. So, I don't know. Obviously it wasn't a good game. There's not a lot of positives, except for the defense held the team to 2 field goals in the second half, and that was it. But the game was already over. So it didn't really matter, because your offense can't score. So they got to figure this thing out, man. It's going to be a long year. I know it's going to be up and down, and I've said it, and I know I'm like, okay, going against what I said, because I'm really grouchy today. But I'm grouchy because they lost, and of course I'm grouchy about my car. That don't help. But I am grouchy because I don't know, I'm very concerned about Fields. And if you listen to me, I haven't been a huge supporter, because Ohio State doesn't have a good track record, as I've said many times, with NFL quarterbacks. And I know I need to calm down and just let it play out. I know that. But being a Bears fan, it's hard to do that, right? When they wiggle something in front of your face, ooh, we got a quarterback, and then it turns out to be shit. How many times have we been down this road, Too many for this Bears fans, because I've been a fan since 75, so I've seen a lot of quarterbacks. And I don't know. It really breaks my heart. So I'm going to try to be positive about it, okay? It was one game. We're still 2-2. It's not terrible. Although we do have to play the Vikings. And the Vikings are up and down this year. So who knows what to expect when we play the Vikings. And I don't know if the Vikings it's in Minnesota or at home. That I don't know. But it would be nice to get that win. But we'll talk about that on Friday. So, but win or lose, I always give the turf award out to a Bears player who really played well. And if you don't know this is a piece of turf from the Bears field before they ripped up the artificial turf in 1997. And we bought a couple squares, and these were taken from the middle of the field. And, all the greats ran on this. Gale Sayers, Walter Payton, the 85 Bears. So this is tough. So I'm giving out the turf award for a tough, good player of the game. And it obviously goes to the kicker. because he scored all the points and he was signed on Friday. So what is Michael Badley or whatever the name is? You know me, I murder names. He is the winner of Week 4's Turf Award. Congratulations, young man. Thank you for at least scoring 12 points for us. And I hope that Santos is back real soon because we do miss him. He is our kicker. So the show is not too long today because I had a few cocktails waiting for my car forever. But I pretty much said it all. There's no point. We all know what happened yesterday. So I'll be back on Friday. I'll be back to talk about the Vikings game. And hopefully, a week from today, we'll have a better outcome. You just never know in the National Football League, right? A lot of crazy games yesterday. The first 4 games have been crazy this year. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So, on that note, as I always say, love one another, be kind to each other, stop hate, and help people out. Smile when you see people, when you're walking through the store or walking down the street. It's just so nice to smile, and it makes people happy. So please be kind. And I want to do a shout out to everybody in Florida who was impacted by the hurricane. God bless you. All us Bear fans are praying for you. I can't even imagine. So my heart goes out to you. It really, really does. So I hope that it works out for you. I don't even know what to say. It's devastating. So I feel bad for them. So on that note, this poor little show lady has got to turn the TV off because she's just had a terrible day and I got to go drink my sorrows. So, as always, keep on rocking and rolling from Vegas, baby, and go Bears!